Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Bommer number 2920-633. This is a full surface screen door spring hinge, steel base with an adjustable tension, what they call a loose pin, here, satin brass plated. 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So, what is this? This is a surface mount spring hinge used on typical wooden storm doors. Very typical and common sort of hinge. And that is what the 2920 refers to. That it's full surface, that it's an adjustable spring tension. Okay? It has what is called a loose pin. You could pull that pin out of there should you need to, but I can't envision why you might need to do that. The 633 part of the part number means two things. It means that it's made of steel and that it is in a satin brass finish. The dimensional properties, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, that is defined on the link below this through the drawing called template. And you know, like many things in the Bommer line, there's not a direct dimensional relationship that's obvious when it's used in the part number. You know, so 2 3/4. You know, yeah, the leaf height is 2 5/8. You know, the width, you know, it's about 2 3/4. But it's a surface-mounted storm door hinge, available in several different finishes. Is what you would get this available in: your prime coat, black japanned, brasses, bronze, chromes, oil rubbed finish, a variety of different finishes. Non-handed, you could use that on either hand of the door. Now, setting the tension is done obviously after you have the door in the opening and installed to the hinges. And when I do it, I would just simply take the door and I would shim it into place. Hinges would be attached to the jamb, and I would have done a reality check based on where that's going to work with the door. Okay. You would certainly, you know, depending on, you know, the hand of your door, most likely pull that pin out, because those leaves aren't exactly identical, but you could. That wouldn't be a problem. You might want to have this leaf on the frame, which is, you know, depending on your actual installation. But you can see that there's a small amount of margin. It's all but imperceptible, actually. Regardless, you can pull that pin out. You could flip that over if you wanted, put the button tip over here, put the tension collar towards the bottom. Okay, however your installation. So when I install them, I'll get the door into the place, into the opening, shim it 1/8 of an inch, whatever my margin is on either side, and of course my undercut. Get my hinge placed, get those holes marked, center punch, and then I would do a reality check before I would go about really center punching and pre-drilling the holes for the screws. And by the way, all wood screws would be included, and of course always in a complementary finish. And then I would attach my, after I pre-drilled the holes, I would attach the hinge to the door and to the frame with the screws. I would test for operation. I would make any adjustments necessary. Then I would set my tension. Now, when the tension collar is pointed towards the top of the door, you would insert the tension rod, which is always included, and rotate it clockwise. And as you do so, you can see that you would reveal new additional holes, and it's into those holes that you would insert the tension pin. Now, when the hinge arrives, it will likely already be under tension, and that's what it looks like. So you'd have to release that tension to do the installation. Okay, I would say 3 holes of exposed, 3 new holes maximum when you're setting the tension would be typical. It's normal to have 2 hinges, or more common to have 2 hinges. It's also common to have 3. I'm a fan of all 3 only because you can set more tension or share that work across the springs a little bit better and have a little bit better control at the very closing cycle of the door, so that you're not setting the tension so high just to get the door moving and closed. There's more stored energy on reserve when the door is open, when you've got more springs. But typically with storm doors, they're so light that it's not really an issue. I would say go with 3 if you happen to be replacing a door that has 3, that sort of situation. But otherwise, 2 is fairly common. Bommer is a name synonymous with spring hinges, single acting, double acting, architectural, commercial grade hinges as well. And it's their double acting 3029 series spring hinge that they are most commonly known for. While it doesn't say it on this hinge, pretty much every other hinge from Bommer will say right across the top of the logo, made in USA, which is a fact that they're quite proud of, as am I to represent them. If you have any questions on the Bommer 2920-633 full surface spring hinge or any other Bommer product, please feel free to reach out to us.